Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Today, wanted to look at the Mare Imbrium in a little bit more detail because we can actually go in and have a look at the variant a little bit. And the testing is still going on for the cruisers, unfortunately, so hopefully I'll have it done within a few more days because the server's going to end soon as well, the one I'm in, so I might have to use my alt to sort of test as well a little bit. And then next weekend I should have the cruiser tier list mostly complete, the testing of the changes anyway. So the Mare Imbrium is the new ship. We get two variants of it. One is a railgun, the other is an energy. The base variant, which is the railgun variant, gets quite an interesting double evasion mechanic, which is unique to the ship itself, so I thought it'd be worth having a bit of a chat about now that we can see a bit more info on it as well. So this is the railgun version, this is the base variant. We've got quite a nice little bow mounted railgun with 315 damage per hit. It is going to target small, so we've got destroyer frigate is its main priorities there. Decent cooldown and lock on times as well, so it's gonna do all right damage wise, I feel. Unfortunately, I can't click on these to show you what they do. One of them we know is 5% damage, and then we know what the other upgrade will be. It'll be something to do with its strategy. Unfortunately, I don't know what this will actually change on the strategy when you unlock it to upgrade. Within 120 seconds after battle begins, increase all weapon damage by the system by 25%. It reduces the CD by 35%. So it's actually quite a decent buff, because getting your damage out early is far better than pretty much anything else, really. So the strategy is probably something you might actually pick up, and depending on what the upgrade does, I want to hazard a guess. It's either going to increase the duration, or it'll increase either the cooldown or the weapon system damage. So we'll have to wait and see. You have, what, 5 slots here? Yeah, 5. So 5 slots, you're probably going double hit rate here. It is a railgun. And I was contemplating if it might be worth going double damage if you pick up the strategy over going... oh, but you got the additional charge here with additional 20%. So this is increased damage, increased cooldown. So it's going to fire not as quickly. See, this is what makes me think, instead of taking the double cooldown here, is maybe going double damage, double hit rate, and then the bonus damage off here. Or you may even drop one of the hit rates to pick up the strategy. There's a possibility there as well. So you got even further damage increases. You're getting a cooldown bonus anyway from firepower assault. So there's a possibility that you may not pick up cooldown for this ship, but again, until we test it out, can't guarantee that. As you know, I normally say cooldown almost always, but you got a 315 damage per hit. Giving it another 20% from the 2 upgrades brings you to like, what, 31 for each? So yeah, an extra 62 damage there. 377 damage per hit, plus 40%. Again, loads more damage output, and potentially, you know, another 25%, maybe higher, off the firepower assault. You're gonna get like a nice 400, 450 damage per hit railgun on a frigate, which is actually quite impressive. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a decent damage dealer. Propulsion wise, there are no upgrades here giving it any bonus evasion, which sucks a bit. You can pick up one lot of evasion here though, so you're going to be running around with at least 8% evasion on this ship, which isn't ideal because it does start on the front row. Now it does have this unique ability, we can see here, maneuver operation. When the ship's HP falls to 50%, it retreats to mid-row. And then if it triggers again at 10% HP while it's in the mid-row, it will retreat to the back row. So it has the potential of some pretty decent staying power and some decent damage output. And I actually think this might be one of the meta frigates that's going to appear in fleets, but we'll have to see. Again, I haven't personally managed to pick it up. I did pick up all the boxes like I usually do, and again, I didn't get anything from them. On the anti-aircraft system, there is intercept, which is actually really quite nice now. So you're only getting 0.4%, but times that by 5, so you're going to get a 2% chance to intercept missiles and a 2% chance to intercept torpedoes per ship. So that's actually not bad. That can actually neuter some fleets' damage output quite nicely. And again, this is going to be bouncing between the front, mid, and rear row, so should be pretty good. Again, we got hit rate here for fighters and corvettes, and the pretty standard probable loadout for the aircraft system there. Armor system, double HP, double resistances to choose from. So you go double HP for certain and picking up one of the physical resistances. Now, I would argue, again, not particularly tanky, but the extra HP might keep it in the front row and the mid row a bit longer. At 10% HP in the back row, it would be interesting to see if they actually manage to stay around too much. But anything with direct fire at least will break target. Anything with missiles may just keep clapping it right the way through the mid row and into the back row. So we'll have to see how that's going to work. But yeah, it's not a bad little ship. Decent movement speed at 900 cruising speed. With one of the propulsion upgrades, you'll be easily able to pick up another 15% cruising speed there. That should bring you well up to the 1,000 and a little bit past, so you got decent about movement speed to get your ship about. So this will work quite well in one of the lighter style frigate destroyer setups. So yeah, it's definitely not bad. Quite a cool looking thing as well. I do actually really like the design on this. It's very Jupiter. There's definitely a little bit of the Eternal Storm and I think the Mare sort of look in this, so pretty cool. I think it's Jupiter anyway, because I can't actually tell. Actually, will it tell me up here? Yeah, Jupiter. So it is Jupiter Industries. I mean, the white, standard white with red flares and stuff on it sort of gives it away a little bit as a Jupiter ship. Definitely a cool one. Be really interested to see what this looks like maxed out. I think that'd be really cool. And yeah, so let's have a look at its alter ego, the Imbrium experimental pulse cannon. Now this one's a bit odd. You lose its ability to move from front row to mid row to back row. It can be mid row only, this one, but you do get quite a nice little high damage pulse laser cannon, which is similar to the Taurus's. You get plenty of hit rate upgrades here. Lock on efficiency. There is no dedicated AA in this, is there? No. But with the energy system, gives you an extra 15% pulse cannon damage at base, which is probably why we got a weird number. And you can increase it further by another 10% off the energy system. So again, it's going to be hitting quite hard at that point. You're going to be hitting another 32 damage, so 350 odd. And then energy switching. Within 120 seconds after battle begins, increase the primary weapon damage in the system by 40%, and reduces the cooldown by 25 while shutting down other weapons in the system. This will shut down the AA weapons, no doubt. Again, it's something else that can be upgraded. This is the upgrade icon here. I want to say this would probably change the cooldown. It could change the weapon system damage, or it could change the seconds, but I kind of want to say the cooldown's most likely. Same for the railgun variant. I think the cooldown's probably what's going to get changed here when you start upgrading this. For this one, it's difficult. You want the double hit rate for Frigate Destroyer for almost certain, and you're probably going to go cooldown here. It doesn't have that additional 40% damage that the railgun does, the extra sort of mini strategy that one has. So you probably going the damage here is probably not going to be quite as good. I mean, you have got a 5-second cooldown on it, so bringing that down is going to be pretty good. It's going to be another one we're going to have to test it again, unfortunately. Double cooldown is always usually pretty good. You can get a 30% cooldown reduction here, but another 20% damage, and you're already getting the damage upgrade off of the energy system. It might actually be pretty good to take even more damage in it, I'm not gonna lie. So, again, nothing specifically interesting here. It's got no bonus evasion off any of its engine systems, and you have no evasion to choose from at all, unfortunately, this time round with the engine system. So your armor system, again, it's the same. Double HP is probably what you're going to go here with 1 physical resistance. And yeah. So I think the railgun is the better of the two ships. And I think it's mostly because of the strategy on it. Being able to move back to mid-row and back-row might actually make it quite a bit more survivable. With this, it's got no evasion whatsoever. It's sat in the mid-row, and things like missiles on the enemy team will absolutely probably pull these apart. They don't have particularly high health pools or anything like that. So yeah, I can see these getting killed pretty rapidly. So I think your best bet, in all honesty, is probably going to be the railgun variant. But it's definitely worth maybe checking the pulse out. Again, it's high damage output potential. So it's nice to see some frigates that have some high damage output. What is the CP cost on these? 6. These are 6 CP each. So they are pretty damn cheap, to be fair. You can definitely fill up and fill some gaps in with these and get quite a few of them out into current fleet setups quite easily, and they should perform quite well. My opinion, railgun is going to be slightly better than the pulse variant, but I think the pulse cannon, if it can stay alive, has the potential for a larger damage output. That's just because energy weapons are generally higher damage, well, higher output, because they're not as well defended on most enemy ships. So that is a quick look at the Mare Imbrium. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.